Greetings everyone. Today we'll be checking out Arrow Video's brand new box set edition of Excalibur. Yes, John Boorman's classic 1981 adaptation of the legend of King Arthur. Now, fun fact, Tolkien actually created Lord of the Rings partly in response to the fact that the big English mythology, namely the story of King Arthur, was written by a Frenchman as La Mort d'Arthur, the death of Arthur. And he wanted to make Lord of the Rings so that there would be an English mythology that was fully, properly English. And not an English mythology written by a French guy. Now, of course, that's only one of many reasons why he did Lord of the Rings, but it's the one that most relates to this particular story. So, I have only owned this once before, and that was in the old Snapper Case DVD, which was, you know, fine for its day, but it was long past time for an upgrade there. Now, that Snapper Case is long gone from my collection, so it's been a while since I've actually seen this film. I've been wanting to revisit it for a while, and what better way to revisit it in this brand spanking new 4K edition from Arrow Video. So, that's going to be today's unboxing and closer look on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Don't you just love that painted cover? Yeah, it's from the original poster art. Just beautiful. Man, I miss painted posters. So let's crack this open and we'll see. Do we have the cigarette pack strip? No, it doesn't look like we do in this case. So we'll just try to carefully. There we go. Yeah, one nice thing is the saran wrap comes off fairly easily on these sets. I say as I struggle with it. There we go. Now, I originally saw this when I was fairly young. I'd say probably too young, quite frankly. Now, I noticed it does have a 15 certificate here, but may have been R here, actually. I don't remember. It's been a while. But I remember as a kid being a little bothered by some of the violence and the nudity. In particular, like the scene where Sir Lancelot injures himself to recover his virtue, and then he's just constantly bleeding through the rest of the movie. Like, that kind of bothered me as a kid. In revisiting it later on that good old Snapper Case edition, I definitely gained a deeper appreciation for it, and I've been wanting to check it out again. Another fun little story with this of course co-stars Helen Mirren as Morgana and Nicol Williamson as Merlin. Now, when Helen Mirren was approached to play the role of Morgana, she was a little reticent at first because apparently there's some bad blood between her and Nicol Williamson. They don't particularly get along very well. But John Boorman essentially convinced her. He said, well, I mean, there's supposed to be bad blood between the characters of Morgana and Merlin anyway. Just use it. And she was like, fine. That's obviously kind of a paraphrased version of the story, but that's the general gist of it. Now let's slide this out here, and there we go. So we have the same artwork on the hard box. Very nice. Nice matte finish there. Actually a little, not quite the same type of matte finish they typically do for their hard boxes. It's got a slightly different texture to it. Very nice. And there's the sword itself. The legendary Excalibur. Alright, so let's slide this out. And we have alternate artwork here, which I think this is also one of the original poster art. I could be mistaken on that. I'm sure the the description will explain it all for us. But we'll crack this open. Let me just spin these around so you can actually see them a little better. It looks like we got, it's actually a 3-disc set. I didn't realize there was that many discs. So we got that one, which is a 4K. And then we have 2 Blu-rays. Alright. Now, just before we get into all the physical contents here, let's here you can take a look at both covers here. Just some beautiful artwork for you to admire, and we'll go through the extras here. So the movie itself is a brand new 4K restoration from the original 35mm negative by Arrow Films, presented in its original aspect ratio of 1.66 to 1 for the first time on home video. Yeah, I think the old snapper case was 2.35 to 1, so there was quite a lot of the image cropped out to make it look more cinematic. And it contains 2 different cuts of the film, the 141-minute theatrical cut and the 120-minute TV version of the film, which I believe is the first time it's ever, yeah, it's actually the first time that's ever been released on home video, which is pretty cool. So we got English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, a reversible sleeve featuring 2 artwork options. So we'll look at the other artwork option in a moment here. Can I move this so it's not quite so much glare? Yeah, it's just no way to, just because of how bright I have to have the lights for the camera. Anyway, we have a collector's perfect bound booklet containing writing by Charlie Brigden, K.A. Lady, Kimberly Lindberghs, Josh Nelson, Philip Kemp, John Repion, Icy Sedgwick, and Jez Winship. A double-sided fold-out poster featuring 2 original artwork options and 6 postcard-sized reproduction art cards. So on the 4K, we have the 141-minute theatrical cut, restored original lossless mono and DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 audio options. I know there's a lot of audiophiles out there who really appreciate the fact that a lot of these boutique labels will make sure to include the original theatrical audio. Even if it's just an old mono mix, you know, that's how it was. That's how it was originally in theaters. So, you know, I like that they are accurate and true to the theatrical presentations of these films. We have a brand new audio commentary by Brian Hoyle, author of The Cinema of John Boorman. A brand new audio commentary by filmmaker David Kittredge, who is the director of Boorman and the Devil, and an archival audio commentary by director John Boorman himself. Very cool. Now, disc 2 is the extras. We have The Making of Excalibur, Myth into Movie, a never-before-released 48-minute documentary directed by Neil Jordan during the production of Excalibur. Oh, wow. So there's a lot of stuff on here that's actually never been on home video before. That is so cool. To Be a Knight and Follow a King, a newly filmed interview with director John Boorman and actor Charlie Boorman. When Death Was But a Dream, a newly filmed interview with creative associate Neil Jordan. The Charm of Making, a newly filmed interview with production designer Anthony Pratt. Confessions of a Professional, Pain in the Ass, a newly filmed interview with second unit director Peter MacDonald. Anam Cara, a new featurette on the working friendship of John Boorman and co-writer Rospo Pallenberg, featuring a newly filmed interview with Pallenberg. And Divided Nature, a brand new featurette by film historians Howard S. Berger and Kevin Marr, plus trailers and image galleries. And finally, Disc 3 is the bonus disc, which is exclusive to this limited edition. So if you want this disc, you need to get this box set edition. It's not available in the standard edition if they do a standard edition, which is a high-definition Blu-ray presentation of the 120-minute TV version of the film previously unavailable on home video, with original lossless mono audio. Then we have Excalibur Behind the Movie, a 50-minute retrospective documentary in which cast and crew look back on the making of the film. Well, how cool is that? What an amazing addition. And yes, it is rated 15 because of strong violence and sex. Yeah, all the stuff that freaked me out as a kid. My poor innocent eyes. So first off, let's take a look at the poster. So you have a couple of posters here. It looks like it's a quad poster. Okay, one is like a length, like a normal sort of theatrical poster, which is the forged by a god, foretold by a wizard, found by a king. I will resist the urge to make Holy Grail references and quotes. Flowery tarts laying in ponds, distributing swords is hardly a basis for a system of government. Okay, I'm done. Very cool. And then we have, let's move this here, the book. And quite it feels like a fairly substantial book as well. Very nice. And on the back, I'm assuming that's John Boorman. I do not know what he looks like. I am not familiar with his face. I am only familiar with his work. He was the director of Deliverance, by the way. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Made it look like an old, you know, one of those fancy old books that they would copy out by hand. Well, at least in terms of like the paper and the sort of designs and such. This is really nice. Just kind of flip through a little bit, give you an idea. Quite a lot of reading there. Very good. I gotta say, like, Arrow's really been knocking it out of the park with these booklets lately. Just packing them with stuff. Beautiful. So there we go. And then inside the case, I'm guessing this is where our postcards are. Yeah, here we go. We have, oh, this is interesting. We have double-sided postcards. First off, let's see what the preview is. Ta-da! Salem's Lot. I may have picked that one up. Stay tuned for my horror updates coming soon. Alright, so we have postcards that have art on both sides. So we'll take a look at these sides first. Very nice. Then we'll flip them around and we'll look at the other side. There we go. Which way does this go? Like this? Yeah, this way. Beautiful stylized art. I remember, though, I mean, even as a kid, being quite impressed by the cinematography and the visuals of this. It really is a beautiful looking film. There we go. And then if we look at the back, there we go. Yeah, that's got to be John Boorman. Nice. Usually these postcards just have art on the one side. So, oh, and there we go. The lovely Helen Mirren. I I recently watched all of Prime Suspect, which of course she stars in, and Nicol Williamson as Merlin. And there we go. Very nice. What lovely pictures. So, let's see what's on the reverse cover here. Ah, of course, we have this artwork, which is of course on the hard box and the slipcover. So normally I would flip around to this one because this is actually my preferred artwork for it, but I think we'll keep it with this alternate art just because it's different from what's on the others there. Yeah, I remember this was a pretty big film when it originally came out. Like, even being a young whippersnapper, I was aware of all of the press that it was getting. There we go. Here we go. Very nice. Now we gotta put it all back in the box. There we go, and put the put the book in. This book is it's nice, heavy, like heavy glossy paper. It's actually got some nice satisfying weight to it, some heft, as I like to say. I do love a box with some heft. And there we go. So that is Excalibur from Arrow Video. What an amazing set. They really pulled out all the stops for the archival extras on there, like having that alternate cut and documentary, both of which had never before been released. So that's very cool, and definitely a reason to pick up the limited edition if you can get your hands on it. Yeah. Well, that is it from me to you for now, folks. Hope you enjoyed. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.